So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into this because here we go again. An elderly man gets attacked subways of New York City by an illegal alien. And somehow the response that Mamdani wants to give is to talk about abolishing ICE instead of blaming the attacker. Yeah. And so we're going to break it all down because yet again, this is another example of Democrats in these sanctuary cities prioritizing illegal immigrants over the American citizens. And there's a lot to unpack here. And so before we even jump into Mom Donnie's comments, let's first take a look at what actually happened. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button if you do enjoy the content. And for future videos, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit all for your notifications. That way you never miss when I drop. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, my heart breaks for this man. Look at him. Just this sweet man. All he was trying to do is ride the subway, something that so many New Yorkers do on a daily basis, shoved onto the subway tracks for no reason. A veteran, a cancer survivor, you survive all of that to be murdered by an illegal alien who shouldn't be into the United States. And this is what drives me nuts. 15 prior charges, you guys. Simple assault, domestic violence, obstruction of police, possession of a weapon, drug possession, and aggravated assault. I am all for redemption. But someone like this should not be out on the streets. He's also been deported 4 different times, most recently in 2020. Why was he in the United States, Brian?
Well, we know why he was in a sanctuary city, because they don't enforce, and they think ICE is the problem, not Baron Hernandez. The 83-year-old on March 8th was just waiting for the subway. The guy hits him from the side and throws him. He bangs his head right on the tracks. They were able to get the 83-year-old out, Air Force veteran, but he was unable to survive. So he passes away after a life of service to the country. And it just underlines the fact that who do you want? Who do you want running your city and state? What city do you want to live in? One that protects illegal immigrants and leaves you vulnerable, or one that doesn't? And Honduras, again, as the president said in 2016, they're not sending us their best.
And so you heard that. Not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times came into this country illegally and then took an American citizen's life. I want you to really think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Because the one thing that makes this country work, that makes this country great, is the rule of law and the expectation that those laws actually mean something. They will be followed. But when someone can just break those laws over and over and over again, treat them like it's a joke, and move without real consequences, now you're not just talking about an individual, you're talking about a system failure. A system where someone can come in, get released, come back again, and then eventually know exactly where to go to avoid enforcement so they can continue causing harm, where they run to these sanctuary cities, where Democrats, they don't even want to remove the people like this guy. They want to remove the ICE officers who would actually keep this guy off of the streets and out of this country. Make that make sense. To say that you want to remove the agency responsible for removing people in this country illegally, how can you be for America and the American citizens? You can't. And so let's jump into this next clip with Zoran Mamdani, where that's exactly what he calls for, abolishing ICE. Take a listen.
I think first and foremost, we're making clear that no one is above the law in this city, that everyone has to follow the rule of law. And I have made clear to the president, both in our private conversations and our public conversations, about the fact that I believe that ICE is a rogue agency. It's a reckless one. It's one that delivers nothing towards the furthering of the cause of public safety. And I've also been public about my belief that ICE is an entity that should be abolished. And that is critically important in our city, where we've seen too many New Yorkers living in fear of even going to what would otherwise be routine immigration check-ins.
Interestingly enough, if ICE was able to do their job in New York City, at least get a basic level of cooperation with law enforcement, that man would have not lost his life, more than likely. But this is what people vote for with the Democrat Party. They want to sympathize with illegal aliens because they don't even want to be hard on the criminals, ladies and gentlemen. The ones who not only break the law by entering the country illegally, but then go on to become career criminals that destroy the lives of American citizens. They don't even want to have accountability for those people. And that's how we end up with these type of tragic events. But it's unfortunately the same in too many places across this country. Let's go to Chicago, because the same way that after an illegal migrant took the life of an 18-year-old college student, you have the woke mayor Brandon Johnson, who ridiculously doubles down on his comments about ICE. Take a listen.
Now the Gorman family is responding, saying this about Governor Pritzker. We appreciate that he is now 5 days after our daughter Sheridan's murder, that he has finally spoken publicly about Sheridan. But Sheridan's death cannot be reduced to a general tragedy, nor can it be explained away by broad references to failure somewhere else. Sheridan was a daughter, a sister, and a young woman whose life was taken in a way that should never have been possible. This was not abstract. It was preventable. The family also had some strong words for Mayor Johnson, who's facing a lot of criticism, including from some folks in the crowd yesterday for unveiling the city's new snowplow named Abolish ICE less than a week after Sheridan's murder.
I want to take this moment to reiterate that Chicago does not want ICE on our streets, in our airports, nor in our city. Chicago believes in abolishing ICE. And through my administrations, we continue to respond to threats from the federal government and bring our city together to safeguard the rights and dignity of all of our residents.
Now, this was right after Sheridan Gorman, the 18-year-old who lost her life, the college student who tragically, at the hands of an illegal alien, lost her life. And so even if this was your position, Democrats clearly support illegals remaining in this country. Make no mistake, that's a fact. They don't care what type of crime they committed. They do believe they should remain here. At least as the leader of the city, well, Johnson is supposed to be the leader as the mayor. Did he really have to come out and double down on that position at that point in time? Knowing you have grieving parents, knowing this girl was just hanging out, doing nothing wrong. But instead, this fool, and I'm sorry, I try not to call these people names, but Brandon Johnson is a grade A idiot, and that's just me being nice. He decides to hold this press conference, has an Abolish ICE truck in the background. I mean, really? Just come out and say what you really want. I would probably have more respect if they were at least honest. To say, hey, we want everybody to stay in Chicago, whether they're illegal or not. We want to give them all the benefits that the citizens have. We want them to be able to vote, give them everything, because it's to the Democrat Party's advantage that we do that. I would at least have a little bit more respect if they came out and do that. Well, hey, they got a plan and they willing to stand on it. But they won't even do that. They'll lie and tell you something else. But let's continue.
The Venezuelan man accused of killing 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman is expected to appear virtually for his first court hearing this next hour. This is a new picture we obtained of Jose Medina in the Cook County Jail, where he is being held in the medical division with tuberculosis. Today, prosecutors are expected to lay out more details from their case against the 25-year-old illegal immigrant who allegedly ambushed Sheridan Gorman and three of her friends as they walked out onto a pier late at night last week and then shot and killed Sheridan as she and her friends were running away. Surveillance cameras captured Medina leaving the crime scene and walking to his apartment a couple of blocks away, where police found a gun that matched the shell casing recovered at the scene. This murder of a college freshman less than a mile from Loyola University is hitting close to home for a lot of students on campus.
It's definitely really scary because going to the pier to look for the Northern Lights is something that I feel like a lot of us have done.
I feel like when it gets a lot darker, you feel a bit less safe.
I definitely am a lot more paranoid going out at night. Just yesterday, my friends invited me to go out at around like 10 o'clock, and I definitely didn't feel very comfortable going out.
So you heard that. And so let's now go to Cory Booker in New Jersey, because this is how desperate Democrats are, going around the airports where ICE has things under control. It's not even busy, but because ICE is there, Democrats have to go out and oppose what's happening and tell you that you should be in fear of having agents just around. Take a listen.
And so what's happening today in America that should outrage everybody? He's taking this very same agency that has been bursting into our schools, into our churches, into our hospitals, into our courts, and even into the homes of Americans. He's taking that agency that is reckless and out of control and bringing them to our airports under the lie that somehow this is going to help deal with the long lines that he created in the first place. This is an outrage. We should not have an agency that America doesn't trust, an agency that literally has seen violence against Americans, an agency that is tearing away American families tearing apart American families and arresting and detaining Americans and violating due process rights and civil rights.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is laughable. It really is. He literally talking to nobody. It's nobody out there. That's why they kept the camera on him. Just trying to create the illusion of something to be feared with ICE agents. It seems that's one of the Democrat Party's best weapons, just to convince people they should fear something that, in most cases, have never seen and don't even have any interactions with when it comes to ICE. But still, you should be in fear. But it turns out that having ICE at the airports is not only helping with safety and security, but also with saving lives. Let's jump into the next clip. An ICE agent saving an infant's life, for example, at JFK Airport. Check it out.
DHS releasing dramatic video from JFK's airport here in New York. That shows that ICE agent jumping in and helping an infant waiting in line. The infant had stopped breathing. Happened apparently a couple days ago on Wednesday. The agent apparently performing the Heimlich maneuver, which restored the child's breathing after nearly 2 minutes.
Wow.
So the DHS secretary, fresh on the job, Secretary Mullen, calling the agent's actions heroic.
And I said this when Trump first did this, that this was actually a smart PR move. You get ICE agents out in front of the people, passing out water, saving babies, making small talk with travelers, helping people out. Just regular life interactions, right? Not what the media is feeding you. And here's what people need to realize. And it's not all, but many people who choose to go into law enforcement, they do so because they actually want to help people in some way. And that says something because not everyone signs up for that, to help, strangers or to help people out. What this goes to show is that these people are not big bad wolf. They're people who are there to do a job. And if you have people throwing things at you, yelling, attempting to prevent you from doing your job that could actually help save someone's life, then it's going to be hard to do that job. And you might run into a few situations where you got altercations going on, right? Versus where you just speaking to people cordially. They're trying to go on their travel. They got a schedule to keep. They want to go on vacation. They want to get home to their family. They got a business meeting to go to. You're not bothering them. They're not bothering you. They recognize that you are a law enforcement official, just there doing what you are assigned to do. Keep them safe. Big difference between that and protesters launching things at you, right? And because they're not deranged liberals, they're not just going to freak out because they see someone with a nice uniform on, regular, everyday people who just are living life. But there are a few deranged liberals out there like Tim Walz. Take a listen.
For saying that, Chris. This is about normalizing. That's what they're trying to do. And they continue to test and they continue to push and then they back off and then they come again. It's about feeling normalized that this is what we have. Look, I think many of us got used to TSA after 9/11. That was something new in our airports. Many of us were used to seeing, military-style police in airports in Europe and Asia. We weren't used to it in America. Now they're trying to do this same thing, like this is a normal thing. This is not normal. These guys aren't doing a damn thing. They weren't qualified to be here in Minnesota. They're not qualified to be at the airport, and they are dang sure not qualified to be anywhere near a polling station. But I would be absolutely shocked if he is not already making plans. I mean, Democratic states are seeing this assault. We have the most secure, fairest elections anywhere, and they're still coming for it.
It's hard to take a guy seriously who allowed the level of fraud in Minnesota to take place that Tim Walz allowed, talking about qualified. He has fraud running wild in the Somali community, and they don't even try hard to hide it. But he's talking about qualified. He's shown how qualified he is, which is why he won't even run for re-election. Even though, if you ask him, he made Minnesota such a great state. But now let's go ahead and jump into the next clip where Ilhan Omar, she tries to mock ICE agents with this clip she posted. Check it out.
We're busy doing nothing, working the whole day through, trying to find lots of things not to do. We're busy going nowhere, isn't it just a crime? We'd like to be unhappy, but we never do have the time.
Listen, I just find it ironic that anyone in Congress would talk about time spent on the job. That's hilarious to me. Give me a break. All you can do is laugh at these people sometimes. Like these agents laughed at this guy who thought he had a gotcha moment or something. Check it out.
No thoughts. You guys are the foot soldiers of a fascist regime, right? Is that not what it is? Is that funny? Is that funny?
So you heard that. I think that was probably the best way to handle something like that with some of these people because they're looking for a reaction, a negative reaction, trying to make their point. And so just laughing in his face because you have to be an idiot to just walk up to someone. Start recording them because of what you see on TV and what the media has you believing. So I can appreciate those men just shrugging it off and keeping it moving because it's not worth the time to engage these kind of people. But those are my thoughts and the update. Now let me hear from you. Drop your comments down below. As always, smash that thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know you enjoy the content. Subscribe for more. And as always, until next time.